So much has been going on around the internet with MrRepzion regarding his stance on suicide and a very unpopular opinion of his, and for good reason. Now, there's two. It was in a video of his. There's one that is supportable. I mean, if you're on your deathbed and you're just suffering and day in and day out, and you're in pain and everything like that, yes, this is a suicide thing. Uh, and I don't even want to look at it as assisted suicide. It's just kind of like, when you put your animal down, because you don't want to see it suffering. And, it's kind of being selfish because you don't want your family member to hang on because you don't want to let them go. But, safety pain, that's fine. But, that's a whole different issue. But the thing he says, if someone who's depressed or who's never, has gone through all means to find a way to cure their severe depression and still can't find a way, that he's okay with them, then ending it and killing themselves right then and there. Well, you know what? Fuck you for saying that, man. Fuck you. All right? I've gone through dark periods and I have severe depression. And you said something about there's different types of severe depression. Severe depression is severe depression, fucking moron. Okay? Now, I don't like getting too much personal, revealing too much of my personal life. But I was in a dark, dark state about 8 years ago. All right, and I didn't care about living or dying at that point. I was very, you know, I wasn't open. I was very, kind of like a shut-in. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be near people. I was very depressed. I couldn't sleep at night. It just felt like living wasn't worth it anymore. It just felt like, that I had no reason to be here. And that's just the surface of it. I won't go into details because it gets darker than that. But MrRepzion wants everyone to always feel like he knows what he's talking about because he's had the worst of the worst, And it's another big fuck you to you, Repzion. I'm tired of your shit, and I even called you out on it, which of course you blocked me, and we all know you hate censorship in America because you won't support it. Fuck you again, buddy, you fucking liar. And yeah, I said to him, because you said I was trying to misconstrue your points about your stance on suicide and why it's wrong. Let me tell you why it's wrong, what you're saying, Daniel. Okay, well, get that all the way about whether right or wrong. Here's the thing, Daniel. One of your young, impressionable fans or followers that watch that video, and because I said to you about if it was a younger an impressionable fan following you, and if they go through a breakup and then they kill themselves because they think that the world has ended, and they're like, well, MrRepzion said it's okay and so then you're going off a very vulnerable fan base here, and you said I'm trying to misconstrue your words. Well, no, I wasn't. The thing is, though, if something happens like that does happen, and it gets back to you, you're going to be held liable for something like that. And you need to be careful with what you say or give advice to. Okay, you're not a doctor. I don't care how much reading you claim to have. All right, you don't know the answer to everything. Like hell, you think you're some professor with everything you talk about. You think you know. I love how you always present yourself like because you used to be one of a cop, and how you studied all this law. It's funny how you study all this shit, yet you never do anything with it. You kind of probably just rehash a bunch of shit. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what you do before each video, is just try to rehash a bunch of shit that you want to talk about and say that you've done a lot of studying on it, instead of actually understanding and the underlying effect of what everything actually means. You come off as a fraud anyway. MustDestroyAll has exposed you in so many ways. You contradict yourself. Like I even said many times, like, what was your religion last week? What, Christian? Now you're atheist. What's it going to be tomorrow? Buddhism? You constantly flip flop. And I've even said many times myself, you don't even know what your true convictions are. But get to the whole suicide thing. You don't have no fucking right whatsoever. Okay. You know what? Maybe the freedom of speech thing. You know what? No, that's not right. You have no fucking right to tell people that it's okay to kill themselves, because they can persevere and overcome anything, no matter how dark it seems, and like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You can claw your way back and fight. You can fight and not end it. You can keep looking for outlets out there. There's people that will take the time to listen to you and will care. Believe it or not, there is. All right? Don't fucking do what MrRepzion says that it's okay. He doesn't know what he's fucking talking about. Look at the facts here. What is he, 20, 21 years old? He hasn't fucking experienced life. Okay? And I'm not saying that he hasn't had any hardships in his life. We all do, all right? So I'm not going to knock on him that. But for him, whatever his hardships were, there's people who've had it 10 times worse who have still managed to overcome the odds and still, are in a better place today than they were probably what they were 10 years ago. Or whenever it was they had such a, where they were at almost a like a jumping point, or just where they didn't know where to go. They were almost going to end it, but they still managed to fight and claw their way back, and saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I said, MrRepzion, what is he, like 20 or 21? He has no fucking clue what he's talking about. I mean, in a sense, in a way, I don't. But I don't try to act like I do with the way he presents himself, like he knows everything. I'm just telling you that it can be done. You can persevere. Suicide's not the answer. All right? He has not been around. He has not been around the block enough to understand and how the world really works, and that there is help out there. There's always help out there. All right? And it's sad. Yeah, people commit suicide, and it's sad, but never do it. It's not the answer. If someone cares about you, you're your own special person. You can make something yourself. Don't let your inner demons get the best of you, because not only is it's a permanent solution, it's a permanent fix to a temporary problem. It can be done. It does not. Rome was not built in one night. If you're battling depression, it's going to take time. Everything takes time. With time, it gets better. First it's one day, and then a week, and then a month, then a year, and another few years go by, and before you know it, you look back, you think to yourself, I don't know how I did it, but hey, I did it, and I'm here, and I'm doing better. So don't give up on yourself. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, somewhere, some way, somehow. So, MrRepzion, you need to choose your words carefully, and your so-called opinions carefully, because, like I said, you have a young, impressionable fan base, and you have 140,000 subscribers on YouTube, 15,000 followers on Twitter, almost 18,000 followers on Facebook. So your message, your word gets out there to a lot of people. So you need to think about the ramifications you get with some of the crap that you spew, because your little prescription to an answer like that, go ahead, that it's okay, and go ahead to commit suicide if you can't find anything else, that is a bunch of bull. And who the hell do you think you are to give someone that kind of advice? Well, with that said, everyone, I'm Nam, and please always use your noodle.